The MSI MPG 321 URX, Samsung Odyssey Neo G8, LG 32 GS95 UEB, ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG32 UCDM, and GIGABYTE M32U are the most popular 32-inch gaming monitors of 2025, but which is the absolute best? We are going to compare them to each other and score them in various categories, with some categories holding more weight than others. In the end, we'll decide which is the best one based on the final score, and we will declare the absolute winner. Let's dive in. First, we are going to compare them on the resolution and refresh rate category, which has a multiplier of 2. The MSI MPG 321 URX is a 32-inch monitor with a 4K resolution and a 240 Hz refresh rate, making it a powerhouse for gaming. However, its high-end specs come at a premium, which might not be justified for everyone's budget. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. Next up, the Samsung Odyssey Neo G8. Also a 32-inch monitor, boasts a 4K resolution with a 240 Hz refresh rate, matching the MSI in specs. But it introduces a 1000R curvature, which can be divisive among gamers. Some love the immersion, others find it less practical for productivity. I rate it at 7.5 out of 10. The LG 32 GS95 UEB steps up with its unique dual mode feature, allowing you to switch between 4K at 240 Hz and 1080p at an impressive 480 Hz. This flexibility is fantastic for competitive gamers, but the lower resolution in dual mode might not appeal to everyone. It earns a 9 out of 10 from me. The ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG32U UCDM also offers a 4K resolution with a 240 Hz refresh rate, but it's the OLED panel that sets it apart, providing incredible color accuracy and contrast. However, its price point might be a bit steep for some, considering the competition. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Finally, we have the GIGABYTE M32U, which offers a 4K resolution at a 144 Hz refresh rate. While it doesn't reach the 240 Hz of the others, its lower price makes it an attractive option for gamers looking for value without sacrificing too much performance. It scores a 7 out of 10. In this category, the LG 32 GS95 UEB takes the crown with its innovative dual mode feature, offering gamers the best of both worlds in terms of resolution and refresh rate flexibility. Next, we are going to compare them on the panel type category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. The MSI MPG 321 URX uses a QD-OLED panel, which offers vibrant colors and true blacks, but it's worth noting that OLED panels can be susceptible to burn-in over time. It's a fantastic choice for those who prioritize color accuracy and contrast, but the potential for burn-in might be a concern for some users. I give it a 7 out of 10. The Samsung Odyssey Neo G8 also features a VA panel with a mini LED backlight, providing excellent contrast ratios and deep blacks, but it lacks the per-pixel dimming of OLEDs, which can lead to some blooming in HDR content. It's a solid performer, especially for HDR gaming, but the lack of OLED's pixel level control is noticeable. I rate it a 6 out of 10. The LG 32 GS95 UEB comes with a WOLED panel, which offers the same benefits as OLED with its infinite contrast ratio and perfect blacks, but it's not as bright as QD-OLEDs in HDR mode. It's a great option for those who want the OLED experience without the burn-in risk of QD-OLEDs, though it might not satisfy users looking for the brightest HDR performance. I give it an 8 out of 10. The ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG32 UCDM, like the MSI, uses a QD-OLED panel, delivering stunning color accuracy and contrast. However, its price point might be a bit steep for some, considering the potential burn-in risk. It's a top-tier choice for gamers who can afford it, offering the best of both worlds in terms of color and contrast. I rate it a 9 out of 10. Finally, we have the GIGABYTE M32U, which uses an IPS panel. It provides good color accuracy and wide viewing angles, but it falls short in contrast compared to OLED or VA panels. It's a budget-friendly option that still delivers a decent gaming experience, though it doesn't match the visual punch of its OLED counterparts. I give it a 5 out of 10. The ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG32U UCDM takes the crown in the panel type category with a score of 9 out of 10 thanks to its QD-OLED panel's superior color accuracy and contrast, making it the best choice for gamers seeking the ultimate visual experience. Next, we are going to compare them on the response time and input lag category, which has a multiplier of 2. The MSI MPG 321 URX is a fantastic choice for gamers looking for a balance between performance and price. It boasts an impressive input lag of less than 1 millisecond, making it one of the most responsive monitors in its class. However, its response time can be slightly slower at lower refresh rates, which might be noticeable in fast-paced games. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. The Samsung Odyssey Neo G8 is a powerhouse when it comes to response time and input lag. With a response time of just 1 millisecond and an input lag of 5.38 milliseconds, it's incredibly fast, ensuring that your actions are reflected on screen almost instantly. However, its high price tag might not justify the performance for everyone. I rate it at 9 out of 10. The LG 32 GS95 UEB offers near instantaneous response times, providing crisp motion and low input lag for a responsive feel. Its dual mode feature allows for an exceptionally high refresh rate at 1080p, but the input lag increases significantly at lower refresh rates like 60 Hz. Considering its versatility, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. The ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG32U CDM is currently the king of response time, averaging an impressive 0.8 milliseconds. Its input lag is also minimal at around 2.56 milliseconds, ensuring a lag-free gaming experience. However, its high cost might be a barrier for some. I rate it at 9.8 out of 10. Finally, we have the GIGABYTE M32U, which offers a decent response time and low input lag at high refresh rates. However, it struggles with more blur and inverse ghosting at lower refresh rates, which can be a drawback for competitive gamers. Given its value for money, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. In this category, the ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG32U CDM takes the crown with its unparalleled response time and minimal input lag, scoring a near perfect 9.8 out of 10. Next, we are going to compare them on the connectivity and ports category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. Starting with the MSI MPG 321 URX, this monitor offers a solid selection of ports for its price point. It includes two HDMI 2.1 ports, a DisplayPort 1.4, and a USB-C port that supports 90 watts of power delivery, which is great for charging devices. However, it only has two USB 2.0 ports, which might not be enough for users with multiple peripherals. I give it a 7 out of 10. The Samsung Odyssey Neo G8 steps up the game with its connectivity options. It features two HDMI 2.1 ports, a DisplayPort 1.4 with DSC, and two USB 3.0 ports. The inclusion of a headphone jack is a nice touch for gamers who prefer audio directly from the monitor. However, the lack of a USB-C port for power delivery might disappoint some users. I rate it an 8 out of 10. Moving on to the LG 32 GS95 UEB. This monitor provides a decent array of ports but falls short in some areas. It has two HDMI 2.1 ports and a single DisplayPort 1.4, along with two USB-A 3.0 ports for peripherals. The absence of a USB-C port for power delivery is a notable omission, especially at this price range. I give it a 6 out of 10. The ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG32 UCDM is where things get interesting. It boasts a USB-C port with up to 90 watts of power delivery, making it versatile for connecting and charging devices. It also includes a KVM switch, which is a fantastic feature for multitasking with different computers. However, the lack of a DisplayPort 2.1 might limit its future proofing. I rate it a 9 out of 10. Finally, we have the GIGABYTE M32U, which offers an impressive array of ports for its price. It includes two HDMI 2.1 ports, a DisplayPort 1.4, and a USB-C port with 18 watts of power delivery. The inclusion of a KVM switch and three USB 3.0 ports makes it a great choice for users looking to connect multiple devices. However, the power delivery on the USB-C port is somewhat limited. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. The GIGABYTE M32U takes the crown in the connectivity and ports category with its comprehensive port selection and KVM switch, earning it a solid 9.5 out of 10. Finally, we are going to compare them on the design and ergonomics category, which has a multiplier of 1. The MSI MPG 321 URX has a sturdy stand with a good range of ergonomics, including up to 110 millimeters height adjustment, -5 degrees / 15 degrees tilt, and + / 30 degrees swivel. However, its semi-glossy finish can be reflective, raising blacks when hit with direct lighting, which might not be ideal for all gaming setups. I give it a 7 out of 10. The Samsung Odyssey Neo G8 has a gamer-oriented design with black matte accents in the front and white glossy plastic in the back. Its aggressive 1000R curve might take some getting used to, and the screen wobbles easily on the stand, especially at its max height. I rate it a 6 out of 10. The LG 32 GS95 UEB has a relatively thin bezel and a simple stand that doesn't take up much desktop real estate. Its stand also lays flat at its base, allowing you to put something on top of it, but it doesn't pivot, limiting its versatility. I give it a 7 out of 10. The ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG32U CDM features a frameless design and premium build quality, with dimensions of 28.27 by 22.80 by 10.79 inches with the stand. Its stand offers height, tilt, and swivel adjustments, but the screen wobbles easily, especially at its max height. I rate it an 8 out of 10. Finally, we have the GIGABYTE M32U, which is constructed entirely of black-colored plastic with a textured matte finish. It sports a thin bezel design and a well-built stand with a hole for cable management. However, it lacks the aesthetic appeal of some competitors. I give it a 9 out of 10. The GIGABYTE M32U wins this category with 9 points, offering a practical design with good ergonomics and a value-for-money proposition that stands out among its peers. The results of our comparison show each product shines in its own way, but the ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG32 UCDM stands out with its score of 71.6. For my time utilizing this monitor, I was truly impressed by the brilliance of its QD-OLED panel, offering unmatched color accuracy and incredible contrast for an immersive gaming experience. Its rapid response times and minimal input lag provide a seamless gaming session, while the versatile connectivity including a USB-C port with power delivery, complements its innovative design. If you're looking for that top-tier display that truly elevates your gaming experience, the ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG32 UCDM is definitely the way to go. While the ASUS took the crown, the other contenders offered remarkable features worth noting. The GIGABYTE M32U, scoring 69.75, impressed with its comprehensive connectivity options and a practical design that caters well to both work and gaming environments. The LG 32 GS95 UEB followed closely, with a versatile dual-mode feature that makes it a great option for competitive gamers seeking flexibility. The MSI MPG 321 URX and Samsung Odyssey Neo G8 both tied with 60, each with unique features that appeal to specific user needs, whether it's the MSI's robust ergonomic design or the Samsung's immersive 1000R curvature. Each monitor has something unique to offer, so make sure to weigh your priorities and choose the one that best fits your setup and gaming style.